Hey, what's going on? Today is June 17th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. We are presented by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick. He is Bob Ramsey. Rammer, we got a fun series to talk about this weekend. It is Cardinals and Red Sox, two historic franchises playing in Fenway, and I am very excited to follow this series all weekend long.
It'll be fun to watch. So fun. I really wish I was there in person. I've been to Fenway Park once, fell in love with the place. You know, to me, it's the Wrigley of the American League, and they're kind of the last two, the old-timey parks left, and both organizations have done a good job keeping them spruced up as best as possible. And I would give a lot to be watching this series atop the Green Monster. They didn't have those seats there when I visited, and I think it would be really cool. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this series. Two teams that when you look at the numbers across the board are really similar. The Cardinals are a little bit better offensively so far, and the Red Sox are a little bit better pitching-wise so far. They're pretty evenly matched.
I'll be making my first trip to Fenway in September this year, so I am looking forward to that. And you mentioned the Green Monster tickets. I have looked at it. I have debated. I mean, one game, going there for one game. I have thought about just splurging and getting the Green Monster tickets for that one when that time comes.
By splurging, do you recall the prices?
I don't for that. I know it's I believe a Saturday or Sunday game against the Royals, so it's not a high dollar, or I guess a important series by any means. So that's looking at when I can do that. I want to say I think it was the Saturday game for that, but they're not cheap. The tickets up there. Yeah, are not cheap. But yeah, you mentioned the two teams being similar. The Red Sox, it took a lot for them to climb back to being over 500. Now 4 games over 500 with a 34-30 record on the season. They started off really
horrible.
really bad, and that didn't help with how hot the Yankees started and continue to be. That right now you're at a point in the middle of June where you're looking at one of those wild card spots because it doesn't look like the Yankees are going to go away. And knowing the Yankees, they're only going to get stronger as the year goes on.
I think the Yankees, different topic, but the Yankees, in their mind, they're shooting for the Mariners' all-time win record. I mean, that's the kind of pace they're on. So for the Red Sox, you just got to win games, get 10 games over 500, then 15, then 20, which is exactly what the Cardinals should be doing. That's why I think this is such a good matchup.
Yeah, the matchup begins tonight, and we will not see history continue in this series, as it was announced last night by Katie Woo and has not officially been made. The move has not officially been made as of us speaking right now at 11:19 a.m. in the morning. If you're listening to the podcast version of this later on in the show. But Katie Woo of The Athletic reported that Yadier Molina is going to be placed on the 10-day injured list. So we will not see Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina inch a little bit closer to history of the all-time games battery worked record that will still, you assume, will still be broken at some point this year. Just a little hiccup in their journey tonight. But Yadi goes down, and we will see Ivan Herrera make his be called up. And you know what? We've seen Kisner struggle at the plate. Let Herrera go.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that.
Let him start. Let him start. Let him play. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe he's not ready. He'll get into town today. Maybe it's the kind of I don't know the kid. Is he the kind of kid? Hey, take a day, get acclimated, figure out where you are in the clubhouse. Big league hotel, here's when the buses leave to come to the ballpark, all those kinds of things. Or is he a go-getter kid that jumps right in the lineup? I don't know that. And so I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Ollie Marmol, but I don't think they brought him up to sit, especially with Kisner not hitting. If Kisner were hitting 270 and getting on base, you'd say, okay, you know, Kiz will still get the lion's share of the play. I'd be surprised if either one of them plays every day while Yachty's out.
Yeah, and Kisner, you still hope is one of your catchers of the future. So, and a catcher that's going to continue to do something for you this year. So, I don't think you, I don't think you give Herrera every single start. But just we'll throw him in. And I do think with Wainwright going tonight, I would assume between the two of them, Kisner has done some work with him at some point. Adam Wainwright will be going up against former protege Michael Wacha in the matchup tonight. It has been an odd journey for Michael Wacha since he left St. Louis. It's been all over the place. Has been good, has been bad, has been ugly during his time with the Mets, the Rays, and now the Red Sox. And so far this year with Boston, everything's been pretty good. This will be his 11th start of the season. He has had that complete game shutout on the year, a record of 4-1 and an ERA of 2.3, which are, I mean, you look at what he did, ERA over 5 in Tampa and ERA over 6.5 in the 2020 season with the Mets. Something has clicked here in Boston, and he looks like he has figured it out again, having his best season. I would say he had a good 2018 with the Cardinals, but if you're talking full season, this is his best season since 2015.
Well, sometimes I think these COVID seasons, you really, especially with people who have been injured, it's just been a mess. Here's the thing that people should remember. I don't think you should be shocked that Walker's having success. When he came up at basically the same time as Garrett Cole. They faced off against each other in September of that year. And it appeared that they were going to be the two aces going into the 20 teens these were going to be the studs of the division, if not the league. And we were saying these two, Cole and Wacha, matching up, we're going to be looking at this for a long, long time. Cole has had more success, but not without hiccups over time. And Wacha, multiple injuries and setbacks. But it's funny. Now he and Cole, again, I agree with you. I don't think the Red Sox will catch the Yankees, but maybe Wacha and Cole can renew that imagined rivalry from their rookie seasons.
Yeah, now in both in two very different places. Offensively, we kind of touched on it yesterday with this Red Sox team. They have a very dangerous three guys in the middle of that order with everybody hitting the way they are right now, as Bogarts, Devers, and JD Martinez all kind of have figured things out. It is the Cardinals, they too, they're no slouch at the offense when everybody's hitting and everybody's hot. And I think to have three guys in the middle of the order the way the Red Sox do, it causes some problems because there's no easy out there.
They've been searching a little bit for a leadoff man. They've got a kid up there now who may solve it for the time being. They tried Trevor Story. I misspoke. I think I saw him have a couple of good games. I'm thinking, okay, he's coming around, but he has not hit. He's just not hit. And I was not a fan of the Cardinals going after Story as many folks were, not because, well, I was concerned about the difference between Coors Field and St. Louis in hitting, but also because of his arm. So I got it backwards. His arm appears to be okay, but the hitting has not been there. But we do know he's capable because we've seen it in the past. So if he becomes their fourth guy and they find a consistent leadoff guy, their lineup will be formidable.
Yeah, it will be. And I was of the impression that either Paul DeJong or Edmundo Sosa would probably figure it out at some point, and you would be able to place one of those guys in. I did not expect it to be Edman at short and Gorman or Donovan at second. If you're sitting there and we're going back to February, if you thought Brendan Donovan was going to be this much of a spark plug for the Cardinals,
no, nobody did.
You're lying to yourself. So
nobody did.
No, nobody did. By the way, a good feature Rob Raines wrote up
Terrific.
on Brendan Donovan the other day. So you can
Really
go
good.
check that out and see Rob's writing about Donovan for this weekend. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. This is one of those series where you look at it and you see the Cubs, the Pirates, the Reds, and you're just kind of going, okay. You get bored seeing the Brewers so many times in the year. It's series like these that, as a fan, it excites you to see a team that you don't see all that often and to play in a venue that you don't get to go to. I would imagine being on a weekend, there will be a very good Cardinal contingent out there in
Oh
Boston
yeah,
traveling to go see
I
see
think
the team
so.
this weekend.
And it's funny. The Cardinals and the Red Sox have a little bit of a rivalry, but extended over decades in postseason. They have a
Mm-hmm.
World Series rivalry. The Cardinals won the first two in the 40s and in 1967, the first World Series I was able to attend. And then the Red Sox get their revenge in 04 and 2013, right? And uh,
Yes.
and so uh, and people and Cardinal fans certainly, and I think Red Sox fans too, based on the times they've been in St. Louis during the World Series, kind of a admiration from afar because of the meetings in the World Series. So I think it's a good rivalry in that context.
Now, just to be clear, you were not at the 1946 World Series, right? That's not the
I
World
didn't have
Series
my
you
press
attended.
pass then. I snuck
Okay,
in, not hold hand.
gotcha. Yeah, there were probably like trees you could have climbed and watched from there before they put up all the signs and everything around the
Right,
stadiums. So
right.
it was probably a lot easier to sneak in a game back then than it is than it is these days. Hey, so today it's Michael Waka against Adam Wainwright. Tomorrow, Dakota Hudson against Cutter Crawford. That's a nice baseball name, Cutter
It is.
Crawford. And then Andre Palante and then against Nick Pivetta on Sunday. That's a 1:35 game on Father's Day on Sunday
So
for the finale.
so tonight, do you want to play Gorman at second because he's your second baseman and Donovan DH, or flip him?
I mean, if you're going that way, I don't know.
How else would
I
you go?
also, yeah, or do you throw? Do you? Yeah,
Or
I
do
think
you
it.
or do you let O'Neill DH and put Donovan in left? That's another way to do it. But
Because none of these guys. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you have to factor in the Green Monster too. How much do you let that play into how you align your defense out there? None of these guys have had to work it, so it's whatever you're getting out there and doing this afternoon.
well, historically, the Red Sox have always, and most teams throughout baseball history, you put your least skilled outfielder or outfielder with the weakest arm in left field. And at Fenway, it's so small, you can really get away with guys who aren't good outfielders playing out there. The Red Sox left fielders that aren't very good, whether it's Ted Williams or whoever, as long as they learn how to play the wall, you're going to be fine. They played Manny Ramirez out there. So I think those are your two choices. If you want to, but you know, you want to say Donovan over Gorman defensively at second base, but Gorman's been good, better than so. I think he's been good. A couple of miscues, but so I'm just curious as how you would go.
Yeah. We will see it tonight when those lineups come out. Again, expect the move to be made with the Yadier Molina being sent to the injured list, and we'll see if they make any moves to that bullpen as well. Rammer, also, it's a big weekend for me. It's Alton High School alumni baseball game weekend. So when the last time I played at this field, which would have been around the time of that 2004 World Series, here's a treat for our video viewers of that. There you go. That's the that
Who's that?
senior. That's me. That's senior picture of Joe Roderick back in 02-03. So
It
yeah.
looked like it looked like you were not a happy person. Look, were
That's
you a little down? Do you have a little teenage angst?
Yeah,
Teenage
probably.
wasteland?
Yeah, I mean, do you see the acne that I was working with back then? I mean, who's
Well,
going to be
that's
happy
everybody.
about that? Yeah,
That's everybody. But yeah,
right.
you seem I don't know. I think I would have had the authorities keep an eye on you. You'd be on their watch list.
I was upset because I couldn't use a DeMarini yet. They weren't legal. So I was that's probably what I was most upset about at the time.
Look at this bat. Jeez. Okay, take the picture.
But I have my Brendan Donovan, Harrison Bader headband ready to go for the game tonight too. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll.
You are such a oh gosh, I wish I could think of the phrase. Such a what's the coolest thing going
extra a trendsetter,
trend follower.
That's more like
oh, this guy, that looks cool. That's new. Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Although you've got the old school logo of the Cardinals on your shirt, which is awesome.
They so the head though is not the same. The company that made the shirts would not print it because it was they didn't have the rights to print whatever the old school Cardinal logo was. Yeah. So yeah, they put a different head on the shirts. So
still okay.
It was. Rammer, have a great Father's Day weekend down at the lake at Ballparks National. I'm sure a lot of fun tournaments going on down there. For
sold out tournament. Father's Day weekend. It's the baseball will get underway at 4:00 this afternoon, and have all the dads out there, dads and their sons playing ball on Father's
tonight or tomorrow afternoon. So
very cool.
Yeah. Rammer, we are brought to you each and every day by Royal Banks of Missouri and also Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Mungenast Alton Toyota, who made a very generous donation to the Alton High School alumni game, as we talked about it yesterday, doing so much to help youth sports, because all of the excess money that they donated to us is going right into the Alton baseball program right there in Alton, Illinois, the home of Mungenast Alton Toyota over there at 850 Homer Adams Parkway in Alton, Illinois. He is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Have a great Father's Day weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you again on Monday right here on Daily Cards Live on ClaibsOnline.com.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.